Hey guys, what's up? This is Brandon. Going to be doing a video here today on how to Bitcoin, how to set up a Ledger wallet. So let's get into this real quick. So we're going to move myself down to the corner and we're going to pull up this presentation that I created. So how to Bitcoin Ledger hardware wallet. So moving through this Ledger hardware wallet, these are some of the topics that I'll be going over today. Want to keep this video as short as possible, around 20 minutes or so, and just help everybody go through, have an understanding of what we're going to do. So, moving on, next topic, why the video? The video is for friends and for family and for anybody else out there that is looking to move their Bitcoin from an exchange to a hardware wallet. So this, why am I doing it? It's for contribution. It's for contribution to the community. It's for contribution to help spread the word about Bitcoin. I want to help users understand Bitcoin more, and so the more that they understand it and use it, the more it will become adopted. By using a hardware wallet and moving your Bitcoin off exchanges, you'll become more responsible. And finally, I want to help do this to help usher in this honest financial revolution instead of what we currently have. So, what is a hardware wallet? A hardware wallet is a device that holds private keys. Doesn't hold Bitcoin or crypto. Your wallet does not hold Bitcoin or crypto. Technically, the wallet, there's no Bitcoin on it, right? And even at the exchange, the Bitcoin technically isn't at FTX. It isn't at crypto.com. It isn't at Coinbase. The private keys are there, and that's what you own. So a quick analogy of what the blockchain is a blockchain is a bunch of transparent treasure boxes. And these transparent treasure boxes are all these wallet addresses, and inside you could see all of the different Bitcoins. So there's transparent treasure boxes, and you can see everybody's Bitcoins. You see this one has 1 Bitcoin, this one has 25, this one has 0.01 Bitcoin. And the only way to open those treasure boxes is with the private key. That's actually the key to open the treasure box up and then make a transaction. So these hardware wallets protect your private key. As it stands right now, your private keys, if you have Bitcoin on Coinbase, your private keys are owned by them. So not great if you want to own your own stuff. So having a hardware wallet, you have your own private keys. You're controlling the private keys which own the crypto. So let's go on next. These are some example hardware wallets. It's a Treasure, Ledger, Trezor. The other one on the bottom right is a Passport by Foundation Devices. Again, these things hold your private keys. There's no literal Bitcoins on the wallet. It's just private keys. So now moving on to unboxing the Ledger. So I'm going to pause real quick and open that up. Cool. So here is a Ledger Nano S, purchased from Amazon. It's still shrink wrapped, which is really important to make sure that you buy a hardware wallet that has not been tampered with, ideally coming right from the company or from a trusted source. So this is shrink wrapped. I'll go ahead and peel this guy open, show you what's inside, what it looks like. The price of this Ledger Nano S was around $60 or so. Pops open like this, and so here's the Ledger Nano. So this small thumb drive device looking. This was a special order one. This is actually a teal color, so this is for my son. Pretty simple, 2 hardware buttons on top. So that's that. Underneath, pop this out. Over here, hello. Comes with a lanyard and string and USB cable keychain. So inside this is important, so we'll pop this open to the side. Getting started instructions. So these are some important things to go over. Go ahead and read through all of those. But basically, these other things that are really important, these are recovery sheets that we will go over later that helps you record your private seed phrase that will be used for recovery in case you lose your Ledger wallet. So step back this in here to the side, and this is it. This is your Ledger wallet. It's pretty small. Again, it's about the size of a thumb drive, and stick this in a safe or somewhere, and it is protected by a pin as well as a well, actually it's just a pin. So once you have the pin, then you can access the private keys to then make Bitcoin transactions. So we'll pause this for now, and we'll go get the software that we need for it. Great, here we are. I'm at the ledger.com/start webpage. So you need to download the Ledger Live software. This helps you manage and activate your Ledger. So go ahead and grab the download right here. I'm on a Windows computer. Pulls it down. Ledger Live application. Looks like it's 155 megabytes. And I'll click to open it. Again, it's thinking. Show in folder. There it goes. So I hit yes. I'm going to switch over to that real quick. Alright, here we go. Have the Ledger Live install up. And so once we're here, we can select next to the default, or just install here to C drive. Run. Fix this hat. Maybe I'll get a new mic soon. I look kooky. Okay. Install Run Ledger Live. Sure. Hit finish. And let's pop it up. Great. Got the Ledger Live up. So this is the app. It's going to talk about some features and release notes. And here we go. Add an account to get started. Let's check back in with our presentation just to make sure we're kind of on the right track. So let's go back to here. Let's go back to here. And so we've unboxed our Ledger. And what's next? Set up Ledger and pin. Okay, so let's go do that. Okay, I'm back. So I've got my Ledger Live up, and next what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in my Ledger Live. So I have it here. I'm going to plug this into my computer. So this is a USB cable, mini USB cable, going in and plugging into here. Click. So this is going to pop up. Can make this screen larger. Welcome to Ledger Nano S. Next. Press left or right button to navigate. Press both buttons to validate. Get started at ledgernano.com. Set up a new device, or restore from recovery phase. So we're going to be doing set up new device. So right here, 2 thumbs, click at the same time to set up as new device. Click. Choose pin. So I'm going to go ahead and create this pin offline. I believe this is a 4 to 8 digit pin. I'm going to hit double buttons again, and then enter this pin. So again, this is a 4-digit. I'll pause. So I did the first pin. I put my numbers and my digits in there, and once the check mark comes up, you lock it in and it asks you to confirm pin again. Great. So I did my pin and then I confirmed my pin. And the next step is it says you have to generate your 24 words. So real quick, I'll set this down, show my face for just a second. So this is where the 24 words are going to come in. This is your seed phrase. This is in case you lose your Trezor hardware wallet, in case you lose your little device. Let's say by natural disaster, a flood or fire comes through and ruins your device. You're going to want to have your seed phrase in a safe location. Ideally, that's a fireproof safe. That also could be in 2 or 3 copies of your seed phrase that are stored off-site, across the country, in Iron Mountain, something like that. So someone can steal, this is important, so someone can steal your wallet, your hardware wallet, and they won't be able to get into it because they don't know the PIN. If they steal your hardware wallet and there's a little post-it note with the PIN phrase on it, they're going to have access to your Bitcoin. If somebody finds your seed phrase that you've written down on a piece of paper or that you smashed into stone or smashed into steel, they're going to get into your Bitcoin. So your Ledger hardware wallet is a little bit more secure than your seed phrase. So your Ledger hardware wallet might be in a locked drawer or in a safe, but your seed phrase, this phrase that we're going to record next, is something that's going to need to be ultimately as safe and secure as possible. So if someone comes across your seed phrase and sees these 24 words, they could take that seed phrase and then restore it and then take them away. Same for you. If you lose your hardware wallet or you want to restore it to a new one, you could take your 24 words that you have and then restore it to a new device. That's a little bit about how the seed phrase works. So let's get started and record the seed phrase. So we go through this and it says your device will record, or your device will generate 24 words. They are your recovery phrase. It is your only backup to restore your account if needed. Write it down on your recovery sheet in the account order, in the correct order. So press both buttons to continue. So I'll go ahead and press both buttons and work this offline. So if I just press both buttons to start it, I can see my first word. So I'm going to go ahead and pause it. I'm going to go ahead and get my notepad out. So I'll set this aside, get my recovery sheet, right? So this is a confidential 24-word paper. Grab my pen and get to recording my seed phrase. Got my pen, and now I'm going to start recording my seed phrase. This part is a little bit tedious, but it is very important if you put any amount of Bitcoin on your wallet that you don't want to lose. So I'll go ahead and write down all my 24 secure words and come back to you. Okay, great. So I've gone ahead and wrote all 24 words down. It took me about 2 or 3 minutes to do that. So now I have to go through and verify my words here on my device. So yeah, they're all good. Next, what I'll do is confirm my recovery phrase. So once I've written down all 24 words, I know they're locked in and good. I'll hit enter, and then you have to go through and confirm the seed phrase sequence. So it's going to pop up the words. It's going to make sure they have the right orders, the words in the correct order. I'll do that now. Great, so I got my recovery phrase and it's set. So I had to go back through all 24 words and make sure they were all in the correct order. So again, it's a little bit slightly time consuming, but it's very important to make sure that those words are in the correct order and that those words are stored safely. So going through this next, it says keep it in a secure place. If I can switch this around, I don't know if you guys see it but not, but it's if lost or stolen or forgotten, all your assets will be irremediably, I'm not going to say that word again, lost. They'll be gone, they'll be lost. So never share it with anybody. Ledger will never ask you for it, so there's lots of people that are scammers out there. No one's going to ask you for your seed phrase. No one, Ledger, anybody asks for your seed phrase, red alarms, red flags. That's bad news. Don't do it. Press both buttons to continue. So pressing both buttons, it's processing, doing a little circle, spinny, time glass, hour, taking about 6 seconds. So your device is now ready. Press both buttons to enter dashboard. So go ahead and press both buttons to enter dashboard. Great. So now I'm on the dashboard of the Ledger. So I have my headphones on and I heard a little USB chime, so I know that my Ledger is not connected to my computer. So we're going to go back to our presentation and kind of see where we're at, make sure we're still on track. So I'll pull up my Chrome presentation. Let's make this small again. And we'll minimize the Ledger Live for now. And so look, here we are at our presentation. We've done the Ledger Live. We did the Ledger pin setup. We recorded our seed phrase. Next would be create a wallet address. So we're going to be moving on to the Ledger Live and accessing the wallet through there. So let's move on to that. Okay, great. So I've got Ledger Live up, and this is our software program. And what we're going to do is add an account and choose a crypto asset. We're going to be choosing the only one that's worth any grain of salt, which would be Bitcoin. We'll hit continue. And so it says allow manager. So here I'm going to double click to allow Ledger Manager. Doing that will allow the software program Ledger Live to access the Ledger hardware wallet. So that's loading. App installation. So it's installing the Bitcoin app. Great. Next step is it says to open app Bitcoin. So I'll click here, double click, boop. Great, so that's opening up. And this is synchronizing, getting this set up. Here's our new account. It's just titled Bitcoin 1. You can change this to Bitcoin Brandon, or you can say John's account if you want. I like to just leave it as this default Bitcoin, so it's going to take a second. Synchronizing. Great. So go ahead and hit add account. Account successfully added. Yay. So you can see there's this big orange thing at the top. Update firmware 2.1.0 is available. So we'll go to the manager. And this is talking about the firmware on the Ledger device. So it says connect on electric device. We're already connected. We're going to go through and update this firmware. So we have our recovery phrase because we just wrote it down. It's in a secret special spot. So ensure your 24 recovery phrase is written down and it's there for backup. So we'll hit continue. And this is going to download the update. I'll pause and let it finish. So this is still installing. This waited for the download, took about 2 minutes or so. So let's confirm the update. Confirm update check, double click, boop. Double thumb press. And so there's a little the screen here showing the status at 80% and now 100%. So it's restarting. Once it's restart, now I gotta put my pin in, put my pin that I created earlier. Using these buttons. They aren't my favorite buttons, but it works for now. So I put my pin into my device and now my firmware has been updated. It says please reinstall your apps on the device. Great. So we've got to reinstall our apps, which only includes the Bitcoin app. So let's go do that. Whenever there's an update for your ledger, it's kind of best practice to update it as soon as possible. So allow ledger manager. We'll go ahead and double press the buttons. And it's going ahead and installing that Bitcoin app again, updating it. Okay, great. So now we have that app updated. The Bitcoin app is installed and updated. Our firmware is updated. Quick notes real quick at the top. This is Ledger Nano S. Firmware has been updated 2.1.0. You only have a certain actual physical memory size. You have used more than half to install the Bitcoin app. We're not even going to talk about these other ones because we're not, but this particular device, we've pretty much used half the space to install the Bitcoin app. So from here, we can go over to accounts, and we can see this is our one Bitcoin one. We named this as the account that's on the Ledger Live, and which is connected to this hardware wallet. So there's no crypto assets yet. Do you want to buy or receive? Yes, we're going to be receiving. So let's go ahead and pause this, make sure we're still on track. Go back over to our presentation, making sure that we are on track. So we created a wallet address. Yep, that's still where we're at. So go back to Ledger Live. Over here on the Ledger Live, it says receive. All right, so the next part is we're going to receive. So click receive. We're going to be receiving to the Bitcoin address. We'll click continue. And so on my app over here, it says open app Bitcoin. Opening it up. It's going to take a second to load. So here's my Bitcoin address. This is one address that I can use. So I'll go ahead and make sure it's on my, I can scroll through here and make sure that address is correct, and it looks pretty correct to me. So both thumb presses to accept the address. I'm also going to take a copy of this. I'm going to copy it from here. So that's kind of something else you want to do when you're using this app, is go ahead and click this to copy this address, and then I'm going to confirm it over here on, I'm going to approve it on my Ledger device. So now you can see in the Ledger Live it says address shared securely. So I'm going to go ahead and click done. From here, I'm going to go and take this address that I've copied, and I'm going to open up my phone wallet and transfer Bitcoin to my Ledger Live. So I'm going to set that up and come back in a second. Okay, back. So one thing I did want to mention is, so back here on the Ledger Live, I mentioned how you have the copy and paste. You also have this QR code. So I'll show the QR code. That's going to be the easiest way to, in this demonstration, pay from my web phone or my web wallet. So I'm going to log into my phone right here. So I'm going to be using the Blue Wallet. It's an app on iOS for iPhone. So using this phone, I'm going to be sending. I'll push send, and I can scan. It's going to scan a QR code. So I can just pop this up, scan the QR code, and here I can set the amount. So We want to change this to, we'll just change it to dollars. So I'll go ahead and send, let's say $30. $30. I can put a note in there if I want. And this app shows that this charging this will be 26 cents. So I'll go ahead and hit next. I'll make the screen larger for you just so you can kind of see how it works a little bit more. So $30 equals 0.0007 Bitcoin, and send now. So done. So using the Blue Wall app, it's pretty quick and easy. I'll hit done here, and Bitcoin transactions take anywhere from 10 minutes to 30 minutes. So I'll go ahead and pause this and update you when this comes back into the Trezor. So I'll take this minute to talk about something else. So the Blue Wallet talks about saying that the ETA on that transaction is going to be 10 minutes. The wallet address itself, you saw, it isn't something per se that's private information. That wallet address that you saw on the screen that I'm sending to, that wallet address is representative of a transparent treasure box, right? So watching this video a year from now, you could go and take that wallet address and look at it on the blockchain, and you could see, actually, you could peer into that transparent treasure box, and you could see how much Bitcoin are in there. So actually, looks like it just popped up. That was pretty quick. So that was definitely less than 10 minutes. Probably still waiting on a few more transactions, but we'll minimize myself over here again. And so this is the app. This is the Ledger Live app, and we can see we have $30.02. So that's just kind of what its price is coming in at. We got 0.007808 BTC. So if you made it fit this far, congratulations. You've been able to move Bitcoin onto your hardware wallet. So that's a huge step. I'm also just going to go through sending it now, because you're eventually going to need to sell it. Sorry, strike that, didn't say that word. You're going to eventually need to send it off of there. It's not always going to stay there. So this is going to be an example of how you would move funds off of your Trezor hardware wallet. So to do that, again, right now I have $30. I'll go ahead and click send, and recipient address. So what this is going to do, I can click this QR code right here, and this pops up momentarily with a QR code in a moment. Alright, so coming back to Ledger Live, this little QR button, this is supposed to pop up and tie into your camera. It's not going to work because I'm using my camera right now for this feed. So what I had to do was get this address from my phone and send it to my computer and then paste it in here. And so I'll pan down here and show you this. So here on my phone, this is my Blue Wallet, and what I did was, I'll make this screen larger. So here on my Blue Wallet, I went to receive, and that pops up with a QR code, and there's also this is the actual Bitcoin address. So you can just click it once, copy it, and I emailed that to myself, and then I came back over to my Ledger Live, and I pasted it here in the recipient address box. So what I can do from there is then hit continue. So I'll hit continue here. So this is where I can send interesting to note, here is my maximum spendable amount is 0 BTC. So interesting that it says that because, well, why does it say that? It says that because there hasn't been enough confirmations. So even though that I saw I have $30 in here, there hasn't been actual enough time passed. So as I mentioned, the blue wallet said ETA would be 10 minutes. So it's probably still waiting on average 10 minutes for those confirmations to happen before I have an available balance. So I'll go ahead and pause this and come back in a few minutes when it's ready to send. One thing to mention while we're waiting for the confirmations to go on the last transaction, you can see on this main page of the summary down below here where it says received, this is my transaction in. This was from my blue wallet in, and it shows my $30 in, and that happened at 9:05. And you can see this is the address that it came from. This would be a bad idea to copy this address and send it back to it. You always want to make sure you're confirming addresses. So especially in the beginning, and pretty much for me all the time when I'm doing a new transaction and from a new wallet to a new source or destination, I always want to use small amounts. So you see I'm using $30, you can do something like $10, but I'm always doing small amounts. I'm not doing large 1 or 2 BTC transfers at one time, and I'm just making sure that the address that I'm using works and it sends to the correct destination and it gets confirmed and everything's good to go. So this address that it came from my blue wallet is actually going to be different than where it's going to. So we can check in here and hit send, put my paste in here, you can see it's a different wallet. Okay, great. So, it took about about 14 minutes for the confirmations to go through from that transaction. You can see that my maximum spendable amount is that amount, right? So what we're going to do, we could say send max, and it's going to do that. Let's just do $10. So we'll put $10 over here on this side, which equals that amount of Bitcoin, 0.0002. Here you can set the transfer speed. Just keep it in the middle, the default medium, and then the network fees, it's going to say it's going to be 32 cents to send that amount of Bitcoin over. So we'll hit continue, and we'll go ahead, kind of re-verify to the amount is $10 in BTC. It'll cost 32 cents. The total will be $10.32, and hit continue. So what we're going to do is, this little popped up on my phone. I'll go down to my phone here, right here. So I got a little pop-up from Blue Wallet saying that my confirmation worked going to my Ledger Live. So to confirm this transaction of going back to this wallet, I need to pull up my Ledger. So Ledger Live is telling me, hey, you need to open up your app. So open up my app. It timed out. I need to re-enter my PIN. So I'm going to go through that. Entering my PIN here. Keeping this PIN safe and not writing it on a post-it note. And once I have it entered as such, it says Bitcoin is ready. So sometimes when it's at this stage, it's kind of already past it. So it's already in the Bitcoin app, but Ledger Live is showing that it wants it to open the app. So what you can do is quit the app, and then it pops up open the app Bitcoin. So open app Bitcoin. So what this is going to do is this is going to allow me to access my private keys, the private keys to my transparent treasure box. It's saying please verify that address. So over here it says review the output. Make sure this is showing the amount that I'm going to be sending. This is the address that I'm going to be sending to. Looks correct, so I'm going to go ahead and approve. Oops. Approve. Confirm transaction. The fee. Accept and send. It says processing. So you can see Ledger Live is, there you go, so transaction sent. So we can click the details and see if this is anything cool. So, it shows amount, the fee, sent. It's not confirmed yet, right? So this is going to take 10 to 15 minutes or so. The date, transaction IDs. Okay, so we'll go ahead and close this out. You might not have been able to see that because my window might have been in the way, but I think you believe me. So here we are on our Ledger Live. You can see this one sent down here, $10.32. It's still waiting. If we click on it, here we go. Here's the details again, so you can see the details of that transaction. So while we wait for that transaction to happen, this video is already up to 36 minutes, a little bit more than what I wanted to. We're going to go back to our presentation, see where we're at. So we created a wallet, we sent Bitcoin to and from Ledger, and that was really the end of my presentation. So I'm going to go back up to the top and go over this. You can see on my phone, I got an alert from, there's a new transaction pending. You can see there that, I don't know if you can see it or not, but I got a new transaction incoming from my Trezor. So it's pending. When that pops up, I'll let you know. I went over in this video hardware wallet, why I'm doing it. Because I want to spread the Bitcoin. I want to help people be better. Hardware wallet, it holds your private keys. Why use a hardware wallet? I don't know if I really went over that or not, but be your own person. Get your money off of the exchanges. Be in charge of your money. Be responsible for your money. Be in charge of your own property, over your own digital assets. Take control. Don't let another company hold on to it and make money off of it. We unboxed the ledger. We set up the ledger. We redid our PIN. We recorded our seed phrase. And we did the Trezor, and it created a wallet address for us. We were able to send Bitcoin from Blue Wallet to the Trezor, and from the Trezor, I'm saying Trezor, I got Trezor in my head, Ledger. So we sent from Blue Wallet to Ledger, and from Ledger back to Blue Wallet. So it's still pending, I believe. We'll check that one more time. Yep, we can double click on this guy, get the details. Status not confirmed, so it's still pending. So we'll set that aside for now. We'll go back to our presentation. So yeah, that's really it. It was a pretty quick video. I hope you guys got to the end of this successfully. This can feel daunting and tricky at times. Just reiterate your seed phrase, the one we documented on paper. That can be stamped into a piece of metal. That can be hidden somewhere very special. It could be copied and put in multiple locations. But just again, as with Bitcoin, this great responsibility of holding on to your own money. So keeping that locked away in a safe, and or as something as safe as possible to protect it from other people. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. and I'll try to reply as much as possible. Alright guys, so that's the video. That's a wrap. Again, please let me know if you have any questions or comments down below, and look forward to putting out more how to Bitcoin videos. Alright guys, take care.